There we go. Making sure everything's good. Good evening, Pie Nation. I hope you're doing well. My name is Matt Williamson.
And I am Corey McFan.
You are watching Marietta College Esports. All right, so we are going to have our Valorant team going up against Keiser University Sarasota. If that name sounds familiar, our Rainbow 16 played against them a couple weeks ago. So now our Valorant team is going to be taking a stab at them. We are getting things set up in the lobby right now. So while we are waiting for that, we will go ahead and take a look at who's playing. And of course, my stream deck is acting up a little bit right now, which is fine. We're just going to have to go the old-fashioned way with showing the lineup and everything for our Valorant team. So playing today, I'm just going to go through alphabetical order. So we're going to have freshman Walker Dale Wave playing. We're going to have, looks like, freshman Octavio Pedro and Edward Drywall. Our captain, senior Dylan Poles Rez. We will have sophomore Jasmine Smith, Explorer, is Weenie Hunt Jr. to game, and senior Spencer Tenney Spence. And of course, we have our head coach, Derek Games. But all right, I think Marietta is in the lobby, and we're waiting for the rest of Keiser Sarasota to join. Just so you know, the maps have been picked. For map 1, it will be Breeze with Marietta attacking. Map 2 will be Haven with Marietta attacking. And map 3 will be Bind, but we don't know the sides yet. I think that's just going to depend on how the first 2 maps go, or if even we go to a map 3.
I believe for map 3 that loser picks. Whoever lost round 2, loser picks.
Okay, that makes sense. So yeah, we'll see how that goes. While we are waiting for the game to get started, we'll go over a couple of announcements. So first, we gave a shout out to one of our supporters, HyperX, being the official peripheral sponsor for Marietta College Esports. They provide our facility with keyboards, mice, headsets, mouse pads, microphones. They are amazing. So if you would like to get your own HyperX gear, please be sure to go to hyperx.gg/MariettaES. The QR code is up on your screen. We will also give a shout out to Over the Moon Pizza for their support. Every Tuesday they will have a game night, and there you get to play on a Switch, whether it's Mario Kart or Super Smash Brothers. They will have our matches up on their televisions. So definitely check it out every Tuesday over on Front Street in Marietta. Also, we'll take a look at the schedule for this week. There have been a couple of updates. So right now we are scheduled to play Toronto Metropolitan University tomorrow in Rainbow Six, but that is going to be rescheduled. We are still trying to figure out exactly when that will be. So we just put out the announcement on social media earlier that it's going to be rescheduled. As soon as we know that when that is, we will get that out to you. But on Friday, we're going to have a huge match with our Rainbow 16 playing against Butler University, one of the biggest rivals in collegiate R6. At least I think so, in my humble, biased opinion. But these two teams have been going back and forth for quite some time now, so it's very exciting to see that rematch. And then on Saturday, we have a lot coming your way. We will have our Valorant team playing against Trine University at noon. We will then have our League of Legends team play against Trine University at 3. And while that's going on, our Fortnite team will be participating in the second open for the NACE Starleague Fortnite competition first split. So we'll try to stream as much of that as we can. And then on Sunday, we will have the third open for the first split for the NACE competition. And we will be able to stream all 4 games for that. We'll also mention that we are in the middle of a fundraising campaign. If I can find the right image, there it is. So we are participating in the Marietta College virtual stadium sellouts. This is an opportunity to help raise funds to support all varsity athletic programs, which does include the Marietta College Esports program. So all you have to do is go to givecampus.com/QHZGCI. The QR code is up on your screen. And you can make any gift of any amount that you would like. No gift is too big or too small. And this is going on between now and October 15th, which is a week from this Saturday if you are watching live on Twitch. If you're watching on YouTube, you will have less than 2 weeks. And I'm going to double check the chat here. Okay, there's just a little bit of issues in inviting the last person into the Valorant match, so just double checking on that. But I think they're now added. But anyway, how will your gifts help us? Right now, we have 40 students in our program, which is the largest in program history, and we're working on trying to get some more computers to help accommodate all those students. We've been able to get a couple already because of your prior gifts, so thank you so much for that. But we are looking to try to provide more for our students. And we're also looking at participating in more events or traveling to more events, so your gifts can help make that happen as well. But all right, it's looking like that we are going to be able to get the game up and running soon. So it looks like I'm definitely going to have to do this the old-fashioned way with the audio and getting that set up. But everyone is in the lobby and the ready checks are being set up. So Marietta will be attacking first. Keiser Sarasota will be on defense first on Breeze. So we're just checking to see if everyone's ready. And as soon as they are, we will get into the game. And hopefully there won't be any crashes this time. I know last match we had some issues where it was crashing on us in the very beginning, but it's a new patch, so we'll see. It'll either fix the issue or it's going to cause the issue,
or make it worse than what it already was.
Well, I don't think you do any worse than crashing, but
it could crash more often.
That's true. It could crash more often, but it's looking like that they're going to be starting up very soon. So I think they hit the start button. What?
I think one of their players. Yeah.
Oh, they lost connection.
A crash. There's a crash already.
Already. Sorry, we haven't moved it over yet because the game apparently crashed, or for someone, right as we hit the start button.
10 out of 10 flashbang.
That is the ultimate flashbang.
Oh yeah. Flash everyone in the lobby.
Yeah, so it looks like Riot servers are acting up. So hopefully get that person back in here, and then we'll try this again. So we'll just go over a couple other announcements while we're waiting, because why not? So we were always looking for more students for our program. So even though we have 40, we would definitely like to see our program be one of the larger programs on campus. So right now we have teams in Fortnite, League of Legends, Overwatch 2, which will be competing next week, by the way, now that Overwatch 2 is out, if you can play it, of course. Rainbow Six, Rocket League, Super Smash Bros., and Valorant. We have our dedicated facility on campus. You may have seen some image previews of that during our pre-streams and our breaks. We have our dedicated coaching staff, not only our head coach, Derek Gaines, but we also have coaches for our Rainbow Six, Rocket League, and League of Legends teams. We do try to provide programming support to help our students succeed. And of course, we do have scholarships available if you're a high school senior or a college transfer. So for more information and to follow on our social media channels, you can go to linktr.ee/Marietta Esports. And speaking of scholarships, well, actually, I think they're doing a ready check. Real quickly, we are doing tryouts. Now, yes, the date says October 1st, and it is no longer October 1st. It is because I did not get a chance to update the image. That's my bad. But we will have tryouts next Saturday. And the game has started up, so I'll have to talk about this later. So let's get into the game. All right. So Marietta is attacking, which means I have the wrong overlay up. So let's fix that. Hold on, everyone. This is what happens when my stream deck is not functioning properly. Anything that stands out to you while I'm getting this set up?
I believe that is right. Marietta is on the attacking side.
Not on the screen here. I need to swap it on the overlay.
Oh, my bad.
No, you're fine. There we go. Now it's fixed. All right, what sticks out to you?
All right. First of all, it's Breeze. Very open maps. So characters like what Marietta is picking, like Chamber or Sky, they excel on this map. So it'll be interesting to see what kind of plays they can make.
Yeah, we are seeing a couple of expected picks. Like I said, Res on the Chamber. We need help likes to play
Raze.
Raze. Yeah. If I can read, that would be great.
But
interesting that Wave is on the Viper this time and Spence is on Sky. I don't know if I've seen Spence play Sky that often.
I haven't either, but it'll be interesting to see for sure. And another thing that stands out, it seems like Keiser has 2 controllers, which can be very interesting and very helpful at the same time. It requires a lot of communication to run 2 controllers. But if used correctly, it can be very deadly.
Well, we will find out. So it's looking like Marietta is eyeing site A. But they have just a few more seconds to set up and buy their stuff. It's looking like they may be doing a little bit of a split here.
Toxins going up.
And Marietta's already starting to plant, and they will get the plant off. The edible drywall will take the hit for it, but Rez is already 1 frag, but Weenie Hut Jr. is down. But Rez will fall, so it's a 4v3. Fall for 2, sorry. And Wave is the only one that's remaining, and Keiser Sarasota will be able to defuse, I believe.
Marietta did a really good job about getting on the point, and they played together. They played together to get on the site. However, when they were on the site, they were already down a couple players, so they just weren't able to hold that spike.
And I think we talked about this before about, okay, you get to the site as quickly as possible, but at what cost? You have to make sure the area is secure before you try to plant, because even if you secure it, if you're down 3-2 or 4-2, there's nothing you can really do to get back into that.
You gotta have those people that can watch those angles in order to actually hold a site successfully.
Here.
Yeah, I mean, they had plenty of time on the clock, too. They didn't have to plant the spike when they did. They could have taken some time, get it cleared, and then plant. So we're going to see Marietta looking at site A once again. We're seeing that same 4-1 split. And they're using the toxic wall as cover. And we're going to see they're going to start planting. The edible drywall does go down.
One enemy remaining.
Yeah.
Once again, they get onto sites, work together as a team, and then once they get spike planted, everything just crumbles.
Well, it's not even that. They use the toxic wall as cover, but it's like as soon as the toxic, it's like you're signaling to the other team, hey, this is what we're gonna do. And as soon as that toxic wall falls, they're already ready to shoot at us. So you have to secure the site before you can plant, and they're just not doing that for some reason.
That, and with that toxic wall, they're not giving themselves enough space to work with. The way they're putting it now, it looks like they're going to do it again, but it looks like this time it's going to be a fake. It doesn't give them a whole lot of space to work with. And if you take space on this game, then they don't have anywhere to work with.
Yeah, and we're seeing Spence and Edible Drywall already get 2 down. So that's the advantage that Marietta needs. So the question is, what are they going to do? It doesn't seem like they're deciding whether to go to A or B, but you do see that Spence does have the spike. They are going to start working their way towards B. Wave ends up falling, but Rez is able to get the refrag. And Spence should be able to get the spike planted. Now the question is, can they hold off this last person? And Spence is able to get the killing blow, and Marietta is on the board.
Now that is very good fake. They sent the wall to A, making Keiser think that they were going to go A. Very good play. Very good fake indeed.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I agree. That threw them off a little bit, and that gave the opportunity for Marietta to get the 2 picks, which then gave them the opportunity to secure the point and plant the spike.
A little bit of a switcheroo right there. And it's that unpredictable gameplay that wins you rounds.
But now we see Marietta's going to look like they're going to do site A again. Toxin wall comes up, but once again, they need to make sure the site's secure because we see that Keiser's just kind of hanging out. Rez is going to start planning, but as soon as that wall lands, see, this is the part where they just need to fall back.
Flash.
Toxin screen down.
See, Wave does get one, but he's very low in health, gets taken out, and Spence is the only one remaining. He gets one, but it's just not going to be enough.
Very good eco kill though, right there. It seemed like Marietta just took some unnecessary peeks there, is what happened there. Like, you get the spike planted, great. However, you are in the advantage now. There is no need for you to make a play. There's no reason for you to peek.
They're the ones that have to respond. So why go out and try to peek them? They need to get to the spike, so then that requires them to peek, take them out while they're doing that. So, yeah, you're right. I don't know why they're trying to... It's almost like they're trying to speed run rounds and they're getting punished for it.
You want to play? Let's play.
Yeah, we're going to see Rez pop that ultimate. So we'll see if he's able to utilize it. Spence does get one down, though. And we're going to see Toxin Walls coming out again. Edible Drywall maybe looking to plant the spike. Winning Hunt Jr. was taken down. And they do get the spike down once again at A. Rez is going to be able to take down one. But both Spence and Edible Drywall fall, and so does Rez. But it is 2v2.
Last player standing.
Once again, this is a situation where Marietta planted way too fast.
It is over.
If they're able to get the plant off, then that doesn't necessarily mean you should plant.
Right. We've been saying this for several rounds now. Secure the site. Get the numbers advantage. And it just seems like they're ignoring the numbers any numbers advantage just for the sake of getting the spike plant. I mean, spike plants are... You want to do that, but it doesn't do much good if you're already down several.
In this game, you just gotta relax, take your time. You have plenty of it.
Alright, looks like most of the Pioneers are eyeing mid, but Rez is with the spike heading towards site B. That's his check-in to see. He does spot one. Now we're seeing Marietta playing a lot slower. And a great headshot there by Wave. And Rez is going to be able to take down one as well. Looks like Marietta is going to use this opportunity to rotate over to site B because it is clear right now. Edible Drywall does get taken down.
Left.
But that is where the ult does take him down. So it's Mike does get planted, but once again the Pioneers are not securing. The Winnie Hunt Jr. does take down one, which is going to be huge. But can they take down that last person? Oh, actually, I'm sorry, there's two left. And Spence is going to be the only one remaining. So they are starting to defuse. He gets taken down.
And they do have time.
And just in the nick of time, Keiser Sarasota was able to defend.
That round was really just unlucky for the Pioneers. They did really well at the start, taking their time, taking the time that they're given, getting a couple picks, then pushing to a site, clearing it, then planting. All their deaths were just either unlucky, they peak and them peeking from random angles that are unexpected, or an ultimate or something like that, giving them that disadvantage.
Yeah, the Sova ult definitely made a factor in that round.
Yeah, because what Sova ult does, if you get hit once by it, Sova's notified that he hit someone, so he just has to shoot in that general area again to get a kill.
We see Spence does get taken down with a headshot early in the round. Now the Pioneers are going to have to fall back. And Wave gets... And I think Marietta is just... I think they're a little bit... I'm not sure what the right word is. Kind of like discombobulated, I would say.
I feel like that's a good word for it. Unaware of their surroundings.
I think they realize there's just nothing they can do, so they're going to fall back and concede the round. Just try not to lose their econ.
Thirty seconds left. Last player standing.
But Keiser Sarasota is still able to take down the remaining two.
Now, the Pioneers did do a really good job about taking their time there. It's just they lost the 1v1 fights. So if you're losing those 1v1 fights, there's not really anything you can do. You need to and 1v1 fights aren't necessarily a fight that you want to take. You want to be taking 2v1 fights or 3v1 fights even. Give yourself an advantage to secure a kill.
Or if you're going to take the 1v1 fight, you need to make sure you're going to win the 1v1 fight. And now we see various mostly grouped up.
Viper Pit does go up on B, trying to lock it down entirely for Keiser.
And Wave is going to take down one that was trying to flank.
There.
I think he's just suspected there is someone over there. And Rez is going to get the headshot onto the Omen. Marietta's going to use this as an opportunity to rotate over to site A. They have 50 seconds, and with a two-person advantage and not have to worry about a Viper Pit, I'd say the odds are in their favor. We even see that Keiser Sarasota is kind of converging over to site B.
And this puts Marietta in a 1v5 situation, which is a very big advantage.
Right, so now they just have to hold.
Throwing charge.
The rest of Keiser has rotated over. It has upped a little bit for Keiser to a 5v3 or 4v3 now. However, KO is going to go down, putting it at a 3v3.
Yeah. It's like he had to reload it in the middle of the fight. He probably needed to pre-reload. I don't think he had a full round. And now Keiser Sarasota is going to be looking to defuse. And Weenie Hut Jr. is going to fall. And Keiser Sarasota is able to defend.
Now, what I was hoping to see there was some lineups out of Wave. Viper does have some really good lineups on this map, and if you can hit them, then it stalls out the spike for a long time.
That's a good spot.
Alright, round's begun. Looks like Marietta is going like a split approach, trying to see if they can spot anyone. Edible Drywall is going to get CC a little bit, has to fall back.
didn't even notice, but the Neon ult from Keiser has gone up. Just a beam just to melt through the Pioneer's health.
And speaking of Neon, Rez is going to be able to take down the Neon. The edible drywall falls.
Down, attacker spawn.
And a 1-for-1 trade. And Wave was able to catch the other Viper without noticing. Going to put up that toxic wall, and that's going to be opportunity to try to plant Site B. But the other two from Keiser Sarasota are going to be heading over. He's going to pop that pit to just kind of provide that extra defense.
Last player standing.
And
One enemy
unfortunately,
remaining.
Spence does take down one, but
Now, that kill on Wave there was a little unlucky. Solo was just shooting blindly through the
and
Viper pit and got that headshot.
and it just happened to connect.
Very unlucky there. Marietta did have a huge advantage, but because of that unlucky headshot, Keiser was able to take that from Marietta. But Marietta had an 8-1 deficit. Keiser will have a very huge economic advantage as well. So,
Yeah, we can already see just the difference in credits. Like, they've been going a 6-round streak, and Marietta needs to get something on the board.
one thing that Marietta does have is they have an ultimate advantage. So, it'll be interesting to see how they use those ult to catch up.
And we're going to see Rez is going to pop his ult. I already see a 1-for-1 trade going on. And once again, they're going to plant very quickly.
Spike down.
And trades
A.
are going left and right.
Plants the spike.
Last player standing.
And it just goes back to they plant early, they don't defend it.
Yeah, we're sounding like a broken record here. It's just these same mistakes over and over again that Keiser is capitalizing on.
So now we got Marietta's going to be kind of starting in the center. The Wave's going to get taken down very early. Yeah. So will Spence. And they're just not winning the gunfights.
Last player standing. Spike down mid.
And Marietta's just getting picked off one by the crossfires that Keiser has set up in mid.
Yeah, that just came down to losing the gunfights like we were talking about before.
Yeah.
Last
Marietta
round
was
before
together
switch.
taking advantageous gunfights. However, crossfires are just as important. If you get caught in a crossfire, you're just gonna get picked off one by one. That's about how it is in any game.
Alright, but now with the last round, a lot of people have their ults, so we're going to see ultimates flying left and right. Yeah, definitely a lot of back and forth in all sorts of areas. Spence is able to take down one. Will that give Marietta the opportunity they need to try to push towards one of the sites? They were looking at site B, but they may be going over to site A now.
The Sky ult does go up for the Pioneers. Those
Found one.
I don't even know what they're called. Those three things just hunting down Keiser.
And Wave is able to take down the chamber, so that might be the opportunity they need. They are up 5-3 on the numbers. Actually, now I'll take that back 5-2 with Rez being able to get a frag. Spence does fall,
All set.
but so does Rez, so now it's a 3v2. Sova ult comes out. But Marietta was able to dodge those this time. But now we see ultimates being used left and right. Winnie Hunt Jr. takes down one. But they gotta stop the diffuse over here. And they are able to do it just in the nick of time.
Very close call right there.
Yeah, just another second and they would have been able to defuse.
Keiser was that close to taking an 11th round on Marietta.
And it is first to 13. So Marietta is now on defense. We'll see if they have some better luck there. Because we have seen before where the Pioneers just struggled on one side, but then they clawed their way back on the other side.
But now that they're on defense, staying alive is that much more important. Because if you die on defense, it makes attackers that much easier for attackers to take a site.
And they're going to have to defend the sites very well.
Especially in this case, if Wave dies here, there's no one else on B site. However, it does look like Keiser is going to go towards A site.
Rez is going to take down one.
Trap destroyed. Gun here.
But Keiser Sarasota gets two down. Spence and Rez do fall. But Edible Drywall gets down one.
Spike down A.
We see the Edible Drywall is kind of flanked a little bit, but now it looks like Keiser Sarasota is going to rotate over to site B. And they're going to find out very quickly that the spike's over at site B.
Which just puts them on the attacker's side now. Doesn't really do a whole lot. They have to be the ones to push to them now.
Let's see, Winnie Hunt gets taken out, but Wave and Edible Drywall do take one down, so there's only one left for Keiser Sarasota. But Wave's got to be careful. I don't think he realized that there's anyone behind, but he's going to have to... He's going to have to start defusing quickly. And actually, with Keiser Sarasota very low, I don't think they're going to be able to defend that spike anyway. So Marietta does take the round, and Wave still takes down the
That smoke from the Viper really saved them right there, because if it wasn't up, I believe that that Neon would have had a chance to kill him.
I think so, because it'd just be very vulnerable, be able to pick off very easily.
However, he was low, and if Wave died, Edible Drywall probably would have been able to take him out.
The timing would have been close, but that keeps Marietta in the game. So now it's 10-3. So we'll see if that gives them the momentum they need to get back into it.
Poison orb emitted.
See Wave putting out quite a bit of toxins.
Poison's off.
And a great headshot by Rez. I mean, right in your face like that.
Very clutch headshot right there. And almost gets the headshot on the Viper, too.
And Edible Tribal and Wave also take down two themselves.
Marietta is now in a position where they don't really have to do much. They can just sit there and wait for Keiser to push on the site and get the free kills.
Yeah, although we do see Rez just kind of rotating and checking, but 35 seconds remaining in the round. But you're right, there's not much that they need to do.
One
They just have
enemy
to wait.
remaining.
Although Wave is going to be like, you know,
30
I'll just take
seconds
down
left.
one anyway. And Wave with a 3K, Marietta gets another round.
Very well played by Marietta right there, taking their time, because they don't have to make a play. So that means they don't have to peek. Taking their time, just stalling out. Making Keiser make the first move.
I mean, especially when you have that numbers advantage. Like, if you're ahead, you don't have to force anything. Let them make the play, and then you can respond to it. Although, a lot of times in the games, we say you want to be proactive instead of reactive, but when you're ahead, you don't have to be proactive.
You can, by all means, be reactive, 100%. Especially in a game like this.
Now we see the one for one trade over by Site A. Spence is going to be there by himself, but we might see also a peek over here. And unfortunately, Green Hunter was not able to spot it out. But Wave is going to take down one, so it's now 3 apiece.
Spike
And
planted.
Rez is able to take it down. Keiser Sarasota does get the spike planted, but
Enemy remaining.
seems like there's only one left.
They are still at an advantage though, but it looks like the Viper on the Kaiser's side might be going for lineups or just a reposition. Looks like lineups. But it doesn't matter. Rez goes down, but he still gets the diffuse off.
Last player standing.
But see, you gotta be careful at this point because you can still die and that can mess up your econ.
Well, a situation like that is not really a whole lot you can do because you are stuck in a lineup in a Viper smoke and the Viper, the snake bite. So you are already at a debuff because of the smoke. Then the snake bite just finishes you off because Viper smoke brings you down to 1 HP.
She's just basically saying, if I can't win the round, I'll at least take that. If I'm going down, I'm taking you with me.
Oh, for sure. Especially whenever they're up 10-5. They don't really
That's true.
they don't really have to worry about econ as much because they have time to bring their econ back up if they need to.
We're seeing the smokes coming out. Edward Tarbell does take that one, takes a hit, but he's okay. And that's going to stop the spike.
And puts out the fragment, stalling them out a little bit.
And Rez is going to get a frag. Although it ties it up to a piece, and Spence is going to fall. Now it's 3v2.
Spike planted. Last player standing.
This is a great headshot by Rez, but he's going to fall, so all that's left is Wave. Have to try to take out these remaining two and disable the spike. I don't know if he's going to have time. I know he's trying to not give any sound away.
One enemy
He
remaining.
takes out one. Yeah, he gave it a try, but because he wouldn't have enough time to get the kill.
In a situation like that, you don't have time to get the kill and defuse the spike, so it was a last-ditch effort to just try to defuse and take the round. But it didn't really pan out the way he wanted it to. Very well played by both teams right there. Very, very close.
Time to mobilize my pack.
All right, we're gonna see Rez has already
You want
popped
to
his ult.
play? Let's play.
Looks like the chamber ult is going to be used on both sides. So it's just whoever's sniper is better at this point.
Or just who happens to cross in their line of sight.
Or that. And edible drywall with the KO ult to engage on the side for the retake.
We're seeing kills going left and right. It is 3v2 though.
Here.
I think Rez suspects that someone is there, but edible drywall is going to fall.
One enemy remaining.
And Rez is going to be able to get the kill with the ult.
Nowhere to run.
And using the Sova ult to disrupt the defusing.
However, it is not going to be enough because one shot with Sova's ult is not enough to kill. And Marietta had the Yop trained down on main.
So they get the round, they all die, but it's still a win for the Pioneers. They need that.
They get the economy for winning a match, which is more for losing even with the amped up loser's econ build up.
Now, the only downside is they popped a couple of ults to pull that off, and Keiser Sarasota does have 3 ready to go. So I would expect a couple ults being used by Keiser, because they only need 2 rounds.
All 3 of them can be used in ways that'll just win them around. Neon's ult, for example, if she can get those frags with her ult, then there's just not really a whole lot that Marietta can do about that.
Like that.
Oh, just like that.
Spike planted.
Gonna see a 1-for-1 trade. Rez is gonna take down 1. But it's still a 2v3.
Last player standing.
Yeah, and that was just looking left instead of looking right.
Now, a mistake that Keiser has made here is they popped both the
Match
Neon
point.
and the Viper ult. So, what would have been smarter is if they saved at least one of those for this round right here to just seal it up. Now they only have Omen's ult, which is very easy to counter. And Marietta has 2 ults that they are working with.
And they'll probably have to use both because this is it. If they don't take this round, then Keiser Sarasota will take the first map. And we're going to see Keiser Sarasota going all in on Site B. Although the chamber is falling back. And with 2 already down from the Pioneers, Keiser Sarasota is heading over. But Weenie Hut is going to take down 1 with the nade. Trying to go for more.
There.
Maria's running out of time.
Last player standing.
Toast is going to take out 2 for the Pioneers. So Edible Drywall is the only one that's left. He gets 1, but he's going to fall.
Attackers win.
That really wasn't a close game. Marietta put themselves in a very big deficit because of the first half. They weren't playing together. They weren't taking their time. And that's really just what lost it for them.
Yeah, it was, especially on offense, they got themselves really far behind because, as you're saying, they just kept pushing to the site and playing as soon as possible. But they would be down maybe 1 or 2 by the time they plant, and they're just not able to hold the spike.
Now, they were a lot better about using their utility from previous rounds, but it seems like the utility is a big part of Valorant. So if you're not using it, then it's already over. But in previous games, that's been an issue for them. This game, not as much. There were a couple of abilities that I don't remember seeing, but other than that, Marietta has improved in that aspect anyway.
Now I just got to work on staying alive and winning the gunfights.
Oh, for sure.
All right, so we're going to take a quick break. I believe I'm going to double check here. Yeah, I think we're going to take a quick break. And when we come back, we'll be map 2. It will be Haven. So give me a second here because I have to do this all the old-fashioned way. But we'll be back in just a few minutes. All right, and welcome back. We are getting things set up for the lobby for map 2. It will be Haven with the Pioneers attacking. There was one substitution. So Winnie Hunt Jr. is going to be stepping up, and we're going to be bringing in Mom. Yes, that's right.
That's very hard to say without smiling.
Hi, Mom. No, so we have one other person on the roster, Artemis Strepnitz. And we do not have him on the image roster. He was a late addition, but he is on the NACE Starleague roster, so if there are any questions about that. But his in-game name is Mom.
Yeah, that's gonna make me laugh when I say it in game.
Twitch chat's going to have a field day.
Oh yeah,
that.
for sure.
But anyway, so we are just waiting for the ready checks. Marietta is saying they're ready, so we're just waiting for Keiser Sarasota to say that they're ready, and then once we get the game started, and we'll be underway. I think you're just checking a few things here, and I'm going to check one thing on my end just to see if something's working here. Okay, I think I got the stream deck working right. Okay. We're going to see if the stream deck works now, because it was glitching earlier. So, Keiser Sarasota is saying they're ready. I'm going to find out if this button press is going to do the job or not. Well, it did the audio. So, there's still some bugs here to work out. But, alright, Marietta will be attacking first on Haven. So, let's talk comp.
Okay, so Haven is the only map in the game with 3 sites, so it's kind of harder to defend on Haven just because of that. And where it's a lot bigger of a map, not necessarily open, but like just bigger in general, it's harder to rotate. So fast moving characters are usually good, like Jet. Rez is going with Jet. It's always a good pick for this map. And other characters such as like maybe even Sage, just to lock down a site in general, also very good and useful.
Alright, so we'll see how that goes. Yeah, with the 3 sites, it's going to be interesting if Marietta tries to play like their aggressive approach game, because we were talking in map 1 about how they would go to a site very quickly, try to plant, and they would lose a couple of people on the way.
Now, if any map they're gonna do that, this is the map to do it, because at most a team can have, if they want to hold every site, at most a team can have 2 people on one site at a time. So if you can rush onto site and get those 2 kills, then you're at a big advantage.
Technically, you could do a 1-3-1, because you can have 1 on 2 sites and you can put 3 on another. It's a little risky.
You could technically do that, yes, it would be a faster rotate, but at the same time, if you get that 1 kill and you're already on site, then the defending team's at a disadvantage, and they're down a man, and they have to now attack.
Let's see what Mary decides to go with. And Waves bring out the Omen to get some smokes out, but they're converging over to site A. Wade gets 1, but does go down on the reload.
Spike down A.
Rez is going to take him up, but he falls.
Now, they did play aggressive and get on this site. They didn't plant yet, but I don't think they had the opportunity to plant.
Yeah, they jumped in, but they didn't secure, and Keiser Sarasota was able to react.
They were just ready for the aggressive play that Marietta had. Now, Wade did do a really good job at using his util to get onto site and getting an early pick. However, he went down pretty quickly after that.
Yeah, because he got 1 down, but yeah, it was in the middle of a reload, and they were able to take him down that way. Now we see Mary playing a little bit slower. And Wave is going to get the headshot onto Ritzy.
Cover going out.
Because of that, he's able to pick up the Spectre. And if he survives with that, it could help Marietta's econ in the future.
Let's see, Marietta's going to rotate maybe all the way to Site C. And Wave is going to take down one in the process. Rez is looking to plant.
Planted.
But Spence is going to fall. But we see that Mom falls in Rez, and Wave's the only one that's left, but he's already dangerously low. And Keiser Sarasota will be able to disable the spike.
It's another situation where Marietta had it planted and they had advantage, but they were taking unnecessary peeks.
Yeah, they were taking extra hits that was not necessary. It wasn't so much they died, although I believe there was a death while Rez was planting. But we saw that Rez was low in health, Wave was low in health, so there wasn't a whole lot they could do to defend.
Yeah, at that point, all Kaiser's got to do is spray in a general direction, and if they hit you once, you're done.
I see Maria's going to be grouped up again, looking for sites. It seems like, but Rez may be looking to peek around the middle, see if he spots anyone. And Rez is going to get a quick headshot onto Ritzy. So Maria's going to be looking to plant. They have the numbers advantage. So can they defend this? And Rez and Mom are going to fall. But Spence is going to get one kill on the chamber.
Last player standing.
He dealt a lot of damage, but just not enough to connect, so it's just...
Last player standing.
Yeah, Edible Draw Ball gets one down, so it's a 1v1. And Keiser Sarasota will try to defuse, and I think he'll have enough time.
They do have enough time. More than enough time. Now, Marietta did do a really good job there about, like, playing for Spike and not taking those extra peeks. They did lose a couple right after Spike was planted, just because of positioning. However, Spencer and Edible Drywall did a really good job. After that, they tied it up back to 2-2, and Spence was even able to get one low on health, so Edible Drywall could kill them easily and potentially get a second kill.
Yeah, it just came down to that 1v1 at the end, and Keiser Sarasota was able to win it out.
Get out of my way.
The Wave is going to get one pick. Rez pops the daggers, but Wave is already less than half health. And he's going to get taken down for it. But we're seeing Keiser Sarasota getting the picks they need. And Mom is the only one left in a 1v4 situation.
And he's just gonna get sandwiched here with Util.
Yeah, there's not much he's gonna do. He's pinned down on every angle. Keiser Sarasota is up 4-0, but a lot of it seems like the gunfights are still an issue. Just not being able to get the headshots.
All about whoever gets that headshot first.
Yeah.
Seems like Marietta is going for a very, very slow approach here.
Yeah, they're taking their time. They're trying to see if Keiser Sarasota is going to be peeking out.
However, not moving at all does not really help either. It just, you're not gaining any information.
I think there might be a request for a pause. I think something's going on in the chat.
Oops.
Yeah, there's a request for a pause, and they have to queue it up. So I'm not so sure why no one's actually paused.
That very strange.
Or I think it's a pause. I think you have to do it like in the. How does it work in a game? It's like when you're in the buy phase, you can pause, but not in the actual round.
That is something I am
30
not sure
seconds
of.
left.
I am not too versed in custom game tournament mode.
I got the spike.
But see, it is 2v2. 17 seconds remains. Marietta still has to get the spike planted. And Rez is going to be working on planting.
10 seconds left.
Planted.
But they do get it.
Last player standing.
And Rez is the only one that's standing already very low in health. And we see Dipku with the 4K, and they will take the round. And we'll see if that pause comes into play.
I feel like that was a situation where Marietta took a little too long to plant. Usually it seems like they're going they plant too quickly, but that time it just seemed like
Well, I mean, okay, so we're in the middle of timeout, so let's talk about that. Like, yeah, they were low on time, but they were able to get the plant off. But there might have been just some confusion about the request for the pause, maybe? I don't know, maybe it's because we were confused about the request for the pause, but because they asked for this and it can only be done during the buy phase, it looks like. So Keiser Sarasota does call for the timeout.
300 ping. Okay. But
And they just skyrocket to 500, it looks like. But I don't think there's a way to do a longer pause in the game. Or if they could do I don't even know if a rehost is possible.
It is not.
Yeah.
Not in Valorant. It is not possible.
I didn't think so, because I know we had a similar issue in the a while back. Okay, so I think they try an extended timeout to see if it settles.
Oh.
I think it just turned off.
And a disconnect.
Okay, so the timer's so at this point the timer has stopped, and I hope it's not the same situation like we had in. Yeah, they're gonna double check the rules in case of a disconnect, and it's looking like a couple from Keiser Sarasota are disconnected, but they're all disconnecting, and we might have a repeat of what happened against Marion Tech.
That was GLEC though. They didn't have a rule for that.
No, but NACE does. And let's double check here. So while we're waiting, folks, I'm going to try to pull up the NACE rules. I know the team is checking, but let's just double check here.
Because in game, if you disconnect in a custom game in Valorant, you cannot rejoin.
Right, and I think the Toast is reconnected, but I don't know if he's joined. I'm going to check the documents here. They might have to consult an admin about the situation.
I'm pretty sure you can reconnect, but like we had this issue last time where they did reconnect, but they weren't able to play.
Right. I'm just double checking what the NACE rules are. If I can find the rules. That's always difficult to find. Rule books. Okay. So wait, that's Overwatch. That's not Valorant. Give us a second, folks, while we're trying to figure out what the rules are. While we're waiting for people to reconnect.
There's a lot of rules, so it's hard to memorize all of them.
Yes. Many forms.
A lot of rules and a lot of technicalities.
Well, they try to make sure they cover all the issues. I think we go to the League Spot site and see if it gives the rules. Or maybe not? Okay, it's gotta be somewhere here on Discord. I know they have the rules somewhere around here. Link to rule book. Okay. Yeah, I think some of the players are starting to report that they're having issues.
They can't get back in.
Alright, so let's take a look here. What happens in the event of a disconnect? Because NACE rules are
A lot more thorough.
Well, the rules in NACE are different from GLEC. Disconnection. So a game must be restarted if a player disconnects in the first round of the game before the first player is eliminated. If a player disconnects from a game after the first round or after the first round is eliminated, the current game must be played to completion and the disconnected should rejoin as soon as possible. Any team that leaves a game following a player disconnection, unless specifically provided for above, may forfeit the current game or match at the discretion of league officials. And for technical problems, each team is allowed 15 minutes to pause time in a match for disconnect or other technical issues. There is no minimum or maximum time that a pause may last, as long as there's not allowed 15 minutes. If it exceeds for the allowed time, they may forfeit the current game at the discretion of league officials. During the first round of a game and before any player has been eliminated, teams may agree to restart and or switch either the host or server if connectivity issues significantly hinder gameplay. They're probably going to have to consult an admin for this.
In chat, they just agreed to a 4v5.
Is that what they said?
Yeah.
Okay.
However, I thought all of them disconnected but one.
I think one left the party.
Okay.
I think that's what happened.
Okay, but they agreed to a 4v5.
Well, yeah, they're checking the rules. It's according to the rules. It's either a forfeit of that game or a 4v5. So I think they're going to agree to the 4v5. So we should be starting up here very soon, folks. But Riot really needs to set it up where if you disconnect from a custom game, you can get back in.
Oh yeah, for sure. Because this is just kind of unfair at this point.
Well,
it is still possible, yes, but it's a little unfair.
yeah, I mean, it is. But I mean, Keiser Sarasota has been playing very well overall, and but I don't know, I think there's a difference between disconnecting and leaving the party. And maybe that's the issue. So Rez gets taken down, Wave takes down one. So it's a 3v4 right now.
3v3 technically. Because Sage is not able to play.
Oh, that's right, because Sage is still out of the... Okay.
And the Sage even, that Rez would have came in very useful for Keiser.
Well, they didn't even have the ultimate, but I mean, yeah, in general, yeah, that's a huge...
Yeah, I was talking in general.
Yeah.
But it seems Keiser has been able to bring this back to a 3v3 at the very least, so...
So I'm wondering... I'm trying to figure out how Riot set this up, because in League of Legends, if you disconnect, from a custom game, you reconnect, but there's never a thing like leaving the party. But it seems like in Valorant, and we see the 1v1 trade there, but in
Last player standing.
Valorant, we see that you can leave the party, and it's like if you leave the party, you can't get back in.
Well, I feel like the big reason for that is in other games like League of Legends or even Overwatch, the host has to move you. In Valorant, you move yourself, but when the game started, the only one that can change anything is the host, but the host isn't able to move players.
Okay.
So I think that might be a big thing with that.
Yeah, now it just showed here that the Sage will not spawn this round because the game is detecting that they've abandoned the round.
However, Keiser was still able to take that round at a 4v5 deficit.
Yeah. So it's not a guaranteed game at all for Marietta, even with having one person advantage.
That works.
And that can definitely get the mindset too, because if they struggle and they lose in a 4v5, that can get very frustrating.
And it might even affect them overall. Just in any game. Just losing this game. This map right here.
Now, if I remember, and correct me if I'm wrong, but wasn't there something how ultimates work a little bit differently if it's a 4v5?
I am not sure at that, because I've never actually played in a 4v5.
Because I remember that against the Marion Tech match, there was something about how, like, you couldn't, since we weren't able to kick the one person off, there was some kind of ultimate benefit that they were not getting because they were down a person.
Oh, I see what you're saying here. Okay, so if you get a kill, then you get a point on your ultimate.
Right.
So the fact that that player's there
One enemy
means you can
remaining.
get a kill. So if you get the kill, then that's ultimate status that you wouldn't have gotten otherwise.
Yeah, but like in that match, we agreed not to kill that person to get free ultimate points. But somehow it was still hurting them by having that person not removed from the game.
Yeah, that I'm not sure. I feel like I don't really know on that one. I've never been in a situation where it's a 4v5, unless someone intentionally disconnects, and even then, it wasn't in a custom game, and I never noticed ultimate status, ultimates being affected by it.
Yeah,
So
they're talking about a little bit about the econ and. Yeah, they're just kind of talking about making sure that they... Yeah, they're trying to say that even though that person's still in the game, that they're not going to kill that person to pad the econ anymore.
or the extra ultimate status.
Right.
Which is fair, because that is a bit of a cheap way to get econ or ultimate status.
It is. It's a very unfair way to do that. And I will say, to be fair, with NACE rules and the way they have it set up, Osiris here getting a 2K. So as you said before, no round is guaranteed. So now it's a 3v2.
Now, I will say that that will hurt the other team. The team that didn't have the disconnect, that will hurt their ultimate status, because they're not able to get that 5th kill. So they can only get a max of 4 points on their 4 or 5 points on their ultimate at a time because of plants and diffuses.
That's true. Because
But they can't get that 6th one because they can't get that last kill. And same thing with econ, they can't get that 300, I think, is the econ for getting a kill because of that.
Yeah, so in a way, it puts them at a slight disadvantage too.
Which is technically a way of balancing out a 4v5 situation. Giving them a slight disadvantage on ultimate status and econ. I never thought about it that way till now.
Yeah, that's a very good point. Because we're
Spike
seeing
down,
Keiser
C.
Sarasota was able to get a couple kills. Actually, I think I was looking at the wrong perspective for a second there. So it's a 1-for-1 trade. Another 1-for-1 trade. Guys like, oh, our chamber died, but no, actually Spence is on the chamber. Yeah, and there's only the one person left, and they're not gonna get the kill to get that free econ. But yeah, like I said, they're not gonna get the ultimate points for that kill. They're not going to get the extra econ for it, so it does in a way balance it.
However, Marietta does have to plant the spike in order
still,
to win.
I don't know what they're thinking. It's like, guys, are you gonna plant?
They're just extending the game at this point. I don't think they realized they do stop the plant to win the round at this point.
Right.
They have to let the bomb go off.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, Marietta does have all their ultimates, so the ultimates aren't being affected right now. But that will affect their ultimates later in the match. Well, later in this map.
Okay, now it did say that Arctic left the party. Was that the person who disconnected? Or was that someone else?
I believe that was the one that disconnected. Hit tab real quick. No, it was not.
So are they down a second person?
Arctic's not even playing.
Oh, maybe that was like one of the observers.
Yeah. Yeah, Arctic wasn't even in the game, so no false alarm there.
I'll say if it turns into a 3v5, but yeah, I think they realized, yeah, if we win the gunfight, we have to plant to end the round.
Yeah. But they are snowballing now because they have taken 2 rounds at this point, back to back. So they do have a little bit of an advantage now because they do have better guns.
Yeah, we'll see if they're going to be able to take this to a map 3. Which does mean if Marietta does, then Keiser Sarasota will get to choose the side on bind.
And they'll have that 5th person back.
Right. Assuming the ping is better by then.
Which they took a round on the 300-500 ping. So I don't know what the issue was. Unless the disconnects... well, I guess the disconnects did happen, so...
They might have taken the round despite the ping. If that, the player with the ping might not have done much in the round and the other 4 were able to win it out. Because we're seeing Keiser Sarasota is still taking rounds when it is that 4v5.
That is true.
You are powerless.
It is at a 3v3 right now, and
Face your fear!
looks like KO and Fatal have both gone up.
Player standing.
Yeah, it's just Rez that's left. They're going to be looking to defuse. Rez gets 1, but it's got to get more. It doesn't get the kill off. And just at the last second, Marietta actually gets the round.
Last second kill on that breach, who was defusing the spike at the time, caused Marietta to take that round. Because at that point, it was halved. However, they still didn't have enough time to defuse it.
Just goes to show, if you can disrupt long enough and eat out the clock.
So even though it was a 1v3, Rez did have some very clutch kills. Takes out the op first, then gets the diffuser.
We're going to see Wave popping his ult. Yeah, Maria's looking to try to take site A, and there's a 1-for-1 trade, but Toast is going to get a second one down.
A.
So it is 3v3. Rez is looking for the plant. And does get it, but it's now 2 left for the Pioneers. Although Wave and Rez are both able to take one each, so there's only one left.
So it is now a 1v2 situation, and Keiser has to push Spike.
But things once again,
One enemy remaining.
he does get the kill, but it's not necessary.
Well, it secured them the round, so I mean, because Keiser lost this round at this point because of the disconnect player that's just standing there in spawn.
Last round in the half.
Alright, so this is the last round before the swap.
You want to play?
So Marietta's been working
play.
on capitalizing the 4v5. So we'll see if Marietta can keep this up and unfortunately take him. I mean, you hate to see a game based on that 4v5 type setup.
That works.
But Marietta looks like they're going to be converging over to site A now. Spence is able to take down Toast with the Chamber ult, but now they're rotating over to site C.
Teleport's ready.
Oh, if he just stayed there for another second, I think he would have spots. But, yeah.
I believe it would have been just out of his line of sight, but
Spike down. C.
maybe not. I might have missed it.
Now it's just
30
Wave
seconds
and Spence that's left. And they only got 24 seconds left. And Wave takes down one.
One enemy remaining.
And it will secure the spike.
10 seconds left.
Spike planted.
And that's another one round for Marietta.
I mean, you hate to see a map decided on a situation like this.
It is still 100% doable for Keiser to win this.
Oh yeah, it is. But I mean, either way, it's just a no-win situation.
100% a no-win situation. It is unlucky, but things happen.
Yeah.
No.
And there he goes.
Marietta will take the round.
Switching sides.
It seems these
Now,
strangers
the
want
side
you dead.
switch could be interesting
Yeah,
because
they're not so first.
Marietta has that extra player on defense now. So, a member on defense being gone is a lot more valuable than a member on offense being gone. Just because if you're down a player on defense, it's that much easier for attackers to take a site.
That's not ready.
So Keiser could very well just roll through Marietta right here if they play their cards right.
Although you think it would be a difference because there are 3 sites on here instead of the typical 2.
That makes it that much harder. So if there was any map for Keiser to have a disconnect, their best map would have probably been this one.
So we see Wave does get taken down. Yeah, they already got 2 picks.
Teleport's ready.
standing.
We're seeing Marietta is struggling, as you mentioned.
And now it's a 1v4 situation.
Flawless.
Tries to get the headshot, but doesn't get it. But yeah, Keiser Sarasota will take that round. And they just need to win 5 of these, and they'll take the series.
A gift.
See how Marietta handles defense here.
Suppress.
Looks like Keiser Sarasota will use a similar strat.
Now, Edel Drywall did get all 4 of them with his knife, so they know where Keiser is going. If it's not obvious to them now.
Going out.
Thing is, they're losing the 1v1 fights. We get the 1-for-1 trade, but it's just Spence and Wave that's left. Wave gets 1, but has to reload it and falls, so Spence is the one that's remaining, and he's already very low in health.
Teleport's ready.
However, it is a 1v2, and he does have 2 shots on the Headhunter, so if he has perfect aim, then he can just get 2 headshots and win the round.
That's still going to be very difficult to pull off.
Very. Especially since Keiser doesn't have to do anything now. Except wait for him to push.
At this point, I think most of the angles covered.
Now, Marietta does have the man advantage. However, Keiser still isn't backing down whatsoever. They have confidence in themselves as a team.
Yeah, because, I mean, they're winning the 1v1s. They're winning the peaks, and they're using that to their advantage to take the rounds.
Enemy suppressed.
So that time, actually, Keiser Sarasota waited for a second, so only 2 of them got spotted instead of the all 4.
There.
The hunt begins.
And we're seeing that they're already planting.
Spike planted.
I'll find you.
And he's going to see they got pinned at that spot. And it's going to get picked off from behind.
All of them picked off by that one person because they didn't check the corner.
They didn't look left.
They did not look left. That's all they had to do was look left, and no one did. Even after the first 2 went down, maybe something should have clicked that, hey, maybe I should look the other way.
Yeah, I'm thinking there's some mental frustration going on.
Oh, yeah.
And like we were saying
For
before,
sure.
with the 4v5, when you're losing rounds, it could definitely get into your head.
And it could mess with them later on in the season, too.
Yeah, because I know we talked before about looking both ways, looking before moving forward. And now we're seeing Marietta left side be exposed,
Spike planted.
so they're going to plant. Now, Spence does get a great headshot onto Toast. So this may be Marietta's opportunity to try to retake site B. But, I mean, they don't have a whole lot of time. They're going to have to move in. Spence does get taken down.
Last player standing.
And it is dropped like flies just because Keiser knows what they're doing. and they know when they want to do certain things and use their util.
Yeah, they're very well coordinated. Even despite being a person down, they are very well coordinated and continuing to communicate.
And just because of that, they're able to overcome a 4v5 situation all the time.
So we're going to see that both of them are heading towards side C.
Let's play.
And Wave takes out one, but he's going to fall. So now it's 3v4. Rest of the Pioneers are going to head over to C, but it looks like Keiser Sarasota are going to rotate around.
They are in a 3v4 situation, so because they got picked off, and they think they know that Marietta is gonna think that they're gonna go C, the safest option would be to go A.
Spike
Yeah.
planted.
And they're going to realize that very quickly. They're going to see the smokes are already out. Spence is going to go down.
Stay down.
I did not even notice that the chamber ult was used on the side of Keiser.
Yeah, and then popping the ults right onto the side to prevent it to actually defuse it. I don't think they're going to have enough time.
Especially because of that lineup that Brimstone used to get the molly on this side,
Player
on the
standing.
spike. And he's able to get the kills.
Match point.
So it's not looking too great for Marietta right now.
No, I think they're pretty well spent here. Because it doesn't seem like there's a lot of coordination. We talked before about reacting when you're ahead, but they're not watching the sides. They're not winning the 1v1 gunfights.
That in hindsight they probably shouldn't be taking anyway, especially on defense.
And getting picked off one by one, not paying attention to what's going on, but
The hunt begins.
Last player standing.
Watch them run.
Wave's going to try to take one.
And it looks like that's gonna be
Attackers
it.
win.
Now, in the first map, Marietta probably got in their own heads. Like, we're losing a bunch of rounds in a row. It's over. They got in that mindset really early on. And the same thing started happening with the second map, too. Like, they were down by, like, 6, and then the disconnect happened. And then Marietta suddenly got that back, won 4 rounds straight, then lost another one, and got back into that mental mindset of being, oh no,
Yeah.
it's over. We can't win this now.
It's just like as soon as they're down a round, they haven't figured out how to get bounced back from it.
Yeah, and like I've stated in the past, Valorant's a mental game. Like, it's not necessarily about mechanical skill. Like, you gotta be in the right mindset, too. If you're not in the right mindset, then you can kiss that win goodbye.
Yeah. All right, that is going to be it for us today. So as a reminder, we will not be, I don't believe we'll be streaming tomorrow because we're working on rescheduling the Rainbow Six match with Toronto Metropolitan University. So once we know when that is, we will get that out to you. So most likely our next match will be Friday with our Rainbow Six team going up against Butler. Going to be a huge match. We definitely want to check that out. Once again, shout outs to HyperX for their peripherals and to Over the Moon Pizza for their support. So for all the latest updates of what's going on with Marietta College Esports, please be sure to follow us here on Twitch, Twitter, Facebook, Instagram, and YouTube. So thank you so much for watching.